Good morning, everybody. Hello. It is me, streaming. Yay. Who is this Sion guy? Who is this Bit Loony guy? Hello, Bit Loony. Cheers, everyone. Second coffee for the day already. So something really weird. I'm looking at my YouTube panel stats, the stream stats, and I was on 39 concurrent viewers, and the second I pushed start streaming, it dropped down to 25. That's weird. I wonder if there's a server data issue. I don't know. Lots of new names in the chat today. That's very exciting. Either new people or people that have never popped in the chat before. Bitloony counts what? 10? 10 what? Oh, there you go. It just jumped. And jumped again. And apparently my bitrate is too high for the stream. I don't know what that's about. Okay, whatever. So, hey Jayton, how is Neodan 8? Neodan 8 is good. Very good, thank you. Yep, it's doing its job, which is all you want from a pick and place machine or from a tool. Any tool you buy, all you want is for it to do its job without fuss. And it most of the time does the job without fuss. When it doesn't, it's usually not the pick and place's fault. It's usually something else. Which is interesting. So I made a video, well, I'm still editing it. Hopefully it'll come out on Friday or Saturday. And I actually talk about that a little bit. That's not what the video's about. But yeah, I do actually mention, because while I'm videoing a pick and placing in the video, there's an error. And so I talk about what the error is and the things that happen. Austin, pick and place is a big thing on my wish list. Well, they're big things, but yes. Yes. Just understand that a pick and place does not decrease the amount of time it takes to do stuff. It decreases one portion of it and increases others. But yeah, very handy tool. Yeah, just getting hold of parts to put on a pick and place is also a challenge. Drew, absolutely. So I'm going to quickly say hi to folks in the chat. Starting off at Et2 Brute. Hello, Dishipu. Bat Madness, good morning. Mr. Who. Did Sion say in one video what kind of 4K cam he bought? Are you referring to my Patron video yesterday? Let me know, Mr. Who. Marius, hello. Oh, okay, Marius has already jumped in and answered. There you go. There you go. Devil White, hi. Sorry, I'm just reading the chat. Ian, good morning. Graham, good morning. Sorry to get you up so early. Technolog, hi. Scrollies. Johnny's in the house. Hello, Johnny. Hello, Mako. And yes, already said hi to Bit Loony, but hello again, Mr. Bit Loony. Mike, up early. I was almost going to change my music this morning. I was actually looking at some different music. But I didn't in the end, because I would have freaked everyone out, I think. Superdoo, hello. David, hi. Bodan, I hope, Bodan, Hope I pronounced that correctly. Probably not, just like I can't pronounce Marius's name or know where he's from. George, hello. Oh, it's Hamslab, hello. Chris, good morning, Chris. Andy Mouse, hi. Paul, Folknology. Jayton, Fire developer. You develop Fire. I could have used you on MakerCast on Monday when the A word wouldn't turn on my Fire. Okay, that was a really bad joke. Austin, hello. Druita from Germany, hello. Hopefully I got that correct. Alexandru, hello. X-Micron. Lots of people in the chat today. Really cool. Andy. Drew Dastardly, hello. Rota, good morning. Antonio, hi. Okay, I think I've got everyone. You're just too stupid to understand daylight saving. Oh, it's every time daylight saving change happens, it takes me like an hour to work it out in my head. It's just 1 hour shifting this way, but it takes me the whole hour to understand which way it's going. Hey Ian, yes, it's earlier for everyone slightly. Should be half an hour earlier for everyone, and half an hour later for the Aussies. So don't get up as early. DIY in the ghetto, hello. Austin saying, I figure P&P would be better for things like my smart hub with 100 plus parts and 20 unique parts. Yes, absolutely. As long as your unique parts is low, that's the killer. Once your unique parts goes over the threshold of what a pick and place can hold and feed, then you're in trouble, because then you either have to do part assembly or you still have to do hand assembly on some parts, which is still going to be faster. Things like passives, getting all your passives on, is a huge time saver, especially because you have to get them out and count them and stuff. So I'm all for the hybrid approach for those that need it, and I still do it myself sometimes. I did it yesterday while I was shooting a video for various reasons, and which I'll show you in a moment. But yeah, if you can get all your passives are the worst. They take the longest to get out and count, put them down, especially if they're really small components. There are no labels on them. Think of all the daylight it saves. Absolutely, to Shibu. All the daylight. Borrowing an hour of happiness from winter. Okay, this conversation is... So, I've been up since 3 in the morning. This is my second coffee already. At 7 o'clock in the morning. Why have I been up since 3? Well, because I did the stupid thing last night. I'm sure many of you can relate. You don't code for 2 hours before you go to bed. You just don't do it. You don't code. You must turn off your brain for a period of time. So I spent the whole night in bed, tossing, turning, flipping, with freaking Python and OpenCV going through my head. And maths and conversions of pixels to millimeters and oh my god! And at 3 o'clock in the morning, I gave up. I just said, I'm done. Like, oh. And so I didn't get up at 3. I was awake at 3. I was researching for the stream today at 3 o'clock in the morning on my iPad. And then I got myself up at 4:30 and started my day. So, yeah, poor cows. Why the cows? Right, but you deliberately don't sleep, Johnny. Like, you never sleep. Like, you're always awake. That's different to... Like, I tried to go to sleep, but I did a silly thing beforehand. I was dreaming OpenCV. Don't need a full-blown PNC, but the passives are the biggest thing for my hub. Yeah, for sure. Absolutely, Austin. Dave Paul Jones, hello. I always turn off my brain before I start coding. That way I'm able to debug it later. Yeah, no. Index P&P is coming along well, yes. Although no one's really seen it do production yet, right? So when I say production, I'm not talking about a single board. Like if you don't get a pick and place machine just to build one board, right? It's about repetition, and but yeah, it's definitely Stephen's doing a great job, and he's got a lot of smart people in the community helping him, and there are other people using their versions of the indexes for projects, but we've yet to see Stephen, like he's built a whole bunch and he's going to be using those to build his boards, but we haven't seen that bit yet. But now that he's got his testing rig working, that's going to help a lot, because if you can't test a board, you don't know if it's built properly. Hello, David Boyd. Why OpenCV would be more like a nightmare? No, okay. So here's a few things. Apart from really tinkering for like 5 minutes at a time, I've only started using OpenCV yesterday. So when I say on my stream that I'm going to brute force learn OpenCV, it's because I'm brute force learning it. Like I am. I wonder how I do this, Google. I wonder how I do this, Google. Right? I've done no research. I've watched no videos. I've read no blog posts. Like I know what OpenCV is. I'm fully over all the wonderful things it can do, especially with all the contributed add-ons for it and everything else. And I don't know any of it. So I'm jumping in. What? Tip for index PNP, do not use an SLA printer. No, you can't. No. Resin print. You're going to SLA print all the bits, are you? Already at the left. No, I would love an AOI machine, but I can't afford one. They're not cheap. You can't get cheaper. Even secondhand, especially in Australia, you can't get cheap optical inspection. But I'm just wanting simple. I just need simple. So we should jump right in. Hang on. What if I missed anyone to say hi? Scoop. Is that correct with the 2 C's? Scoop. Hello. There's one of my folks who uses optical inspection of bolts. Yeah, OpenCV is fantastic. Like it's just a framework, right? You still need a code. What it's going to do. Why don't I buy something that's finished? Marius, don't start. So I'm announcing now, just by the way, so everyone knows, next week I've got another guest on the stream. Marius is going to be jumping on the stream and we're going to have a really good chat about stuff. And we're not giving it away now, are we, Marius? No, we're not. But I think most of you are going to want to jump on the stream. I think everyone's going to. It's going to be really cool. It's going to be a really cool discussion. Really cool. So anyway, most of you know that I've been playing around with an idea of doing optical inspection for my boards. And yes, I've started working on some hardware stuff in a rig, and I've got some. I've pretty much, for the moment, given up on my Pi single camera looking down. Bitluni knows everything. I'm sure you do. Because I can't get enough pixel data, right? I want more pixel data. For it to be really versatile, it's gonna look. It may work, but what I've done instead is I've ordered a couple of cameras. I've ordered a global shutter camera, and I've ordered a rolling shutter that has autofocus. And I'm thinking of, and I know many of you brought this up when I was originally talking about my idea of optical inspection, because remember, ideally I want something on my line. So that was originally going to make something like a system where the camera moves around on the board, kind of problematic. But I'm going to look at that as an option again, where I can use 2 cameras on a rig, where I'm going to use the autofocus camera to find the board where it is, right? And then measure the board and do whatever it needs. I'll show you all this in a moment. And then once it's worked out, once it's classified the board, the panel, then it'll switch to the global shutter, and it'll come down to the focal point of the global shutter, and we'll then start looking at boards individually. Hello, Mr. Tadar. But all that aside, I'm not ready for any of that because my cameras aren't here yet, and that's going to require a lot of hardware and design and other things. But what I can do is start working on the software side. So that's what I started on yesterday and what I'm going to work on today on the stream. And we're going to be using my very first, you know what? I came in to prepare today for the stream and didn't even plug my camera in. How silly is that? Oh, silly, silly. Okay. Let's hope. Let's see if this works, except I'm going to need some light. So I'm going to need to... Ooh. I'm going to need to say the A word. I'm going to mute though. Behaving today. Hey, Lucian. Okay, so... Oh, that is not in focus. So this is what I'm using for my reference, and I'll explain why I'm using it in a minute. Wrong camera. Interesting. Why is that not focusing? Oh, there we go. Okay. So, let me just... So I was mucking around with this yesterday. I had... Okay, that's better. There we go. So, I was shooting video yesterday. This is my first panel of my I2S audio shield. Finally. So, the video that I've got coming out at the end of the week is me building this panel from start to finish. I've been wanting to do a start to finish video for quite a while. So I paste the panel, I pick and place the panel, I inspect the panel, I reflow the panel, and yada yada yada, right? And you see everything from start to finish. And this is the first production board that I use my vacuum cleaner stencil system with. And that was the reasoning behind doing this. If I was going to show you the stenciling with the vacuum system actually working, then I might as well show you the whole process, right? So I show that, and then I do an inspection of the paste on the board before it goes in the pick and place. The results from the stencil printer with the vacuum system is phenomenal. So there you go, gave it away. And then before I break this up, I decided to just take some photos of it, which then got me down the whole, well, maybe I should use this to start playing around in OpenCV. And that's what I did. What's a streamer battery? Ian? Hello, Bruce. Good morning. Hey, Photochromax. Who else have I missed? I confused OpenCV with OpenCL for a while. OpenCV does not need AI servers and NVIDIA GPUs and stuff, does it? No, but you can compile a version of OpenCV that does use OpenCL to get faster processing, because it'll offload it on the GPU instead of the CPU. So the two are definitely can work together. Do I still use the IN6? I still do, yes. I do. I have no room for a larger, longer, more zone oven. If I had the room, I would probably upgrade to an 8 or a 12 zone oven, but I don't have 3-phase and I don't have the room. Like, an 8 zone oven is as long as my whole production line is right now. Anyway, so there's my panel. Now, there are actually a couple of passives on here that have not reflowed properly, and I didn't fix them because I wanted them left on there so I can use this data to actually get my system to work, right? There's no point having a perfectly tested, like a perfect board with no faults on it. How do I then, get it to pick something that isn't right? So I'll show you where I'm up to so far. I've only just really started this, right? It's really early days. I'll show you where I'm up to, and then I'm going to start coding and hacking away, and we can all talk about it. And I want to preface this by saying that I know there are other tools out there, there's other hardware, there's other software, there's other projects, there's all sorts of other things. I'm doing this as a learning exercise for me. I want to learn OpenCV. I want to keep honing my Python skills. I want to see if I can do a simplified version Hello, Mark. Preface this with I'm going to do it all wrong. Absolutely. I am going to not use machine learning to start with. Like, as in, I've got an idea in my head of how I'm going to do this a really simple way, and I want to see how far I can take it. Hello, Peter. So I want to see how far I can take it without using machine learning, without doing any type of neural networks, anything like that, because I don't have time to learn all that stuff right now. I need something kind of quick and dirty, quick and nasty, whatever. And yeah, but that has a bunch of stuff I need to get right first. I need to get in first. If I wasn't a half-wit, I would love to create Skynet as a machine learning project. Really? Would you really want to be responsible for the end of the world? OpenCV is kind of fun. Will you subtract images? I will do differences on images, yes. So my plan is to not classify good and bad images. My plan is to only classify good. And then every comparison is a comparison against all the good. And if it doesn't match any of the good, then it's either also good or it's bad, right? I'm not going to compare bads because there's too many variations of bad. And my plan is to build a library of that type of part just in general. So it's not like I'll only ever be comparing an 0402 resistor to other 0402 resistors on that panel. I will build a library of lots of good 0402 resistors and across all different panels, and it'll always be using that, if that makes sense. What? China established rules for machine learning today. Did they? Yes, I know about OpenMV. No, not really. Not like the best start for me. I want to learn OpenCV. This is a learning exercise for me. Too different from good equals not good. Correct. Sounds like something for AI. Well, it is going to be AI eventually, but a really dumb AI. But I need to start it. So any system that uses machine learning, neural networks, AI, whatever you want to call it, okay? Because they're all the same and different. Like, it's such a mixed pool of whatever, right? Crossover everywhere. I'm going to get flamed for that one. At the end of the day, it needs data, right? You can't do object detection unless of a ball in a photo unless it knows what a ball is. So object detection of a ball only works if there's a lot of data it's learned from about all 1,000, 2,000, 5,000 pictures of balls, right? So my system's going to do nothing at the start when there's no good pictures of 0402 resistors. So that's going to be a challenge. I need to build all that, right? But I can't do that until I can process the board. So let's jump into that, right? Put it on the blockchain. Yeah, no. So China's rules don't be evil. That's pretty funny. Awesome. Lucian, that's great. Yeah, don't be scared about buying a pick and place machine. I mean, obviously investing the money is always interesting, but yeah, go for it. If you need one, get one. Okay, so I'm going to switch over to this screen. Don't really need anything else. I've got 3 windows here. This is my Visual Studio Code. Hopefully you'll be able to see. Can everyone see the text size? I hope so. I've got just some web pages open, OpenCV stuff, and I don't really need this. Well, actually I do. So this is my board in Eagle, and obviously I need to get the component data out of here to use. But before we get to that, I'm just going to run what I've got right now and show you what I've done. Now the problem is it opens on my other monitor, so I have to keep moving it over, and it won't fit inside the OBS window. So every time I have to shrink it down. Now I'm going to put some code in to try to make a custom window so it doesn't do that. What I can't do is resize the image. I don't want to resize the image. I want to leave the image as it is. Now, you might see here that I've got the panel, and I've got a green bounding box around the outside of the panel. So I've detected the panel, and then I've got red boxes where it's worked out where all of the different PCBs are on the panel. Now, none of this is rocket science. So, you know, I like to, you know, it'd be cool if I could say, wow, I've made something really cool here, but it's really not that cool. I'll show you the code to explain what it's doing. This is not a teacher. I'm not teaching you guys how to use OpenCV. I'm learning how to use OpenCV. And I'm not teaching you guys how to do good coding, right? I am literally just hacking this together. So far, can't complain. You're talking to me? Can't complain about what I've done so far, or are you talking about something else? So, I've got an image of the board, okay? Now, I took it with a blue background. It doesn't really matter. Turns out I didn't need the blue background. You know, it would have worked just as well to do it on white or something else. Yeah, I'm going to teach you how to not learn OpenCV. So that's my image. Now, what I've also got is some JSON that I made myself, okay? Which is basically just the name of the board and then some panel information. So the panel is 99 millimeters wide. Wide is this way. And 119 in length. So length is this way. Millimeters. It's got 5 rows and 3 columns of boards. And it's got 5 millimeter edge rail horizontal and no edge rails vertically. So that's the definition of the panel. Okay. And then that's all it needs, because from that, I've got a script called panel tools, or right, where I'm going to be working on the board stuff in a moment. And basically, it loads up that JSON file and sets a bunch of stuff, works out the adjusted width and the height, width and length of the panel when it removes the edge rails, so it can work out the inside bit. And then there's a create boards method that goes through and works out the red areas for the boards, right? It's really basic stuff. So I'm loading the image. I'm de-skewing the image, which is kind of important. So what that does is that the image has got a slight rotation on it. And so I need to straighten it. So it does a detection. This is code that came off the internet. Or the get skew angle came off the internet. It basically works out using contours of the image how far it's deviated from a rect, outside rect. And if you look at my output log down here, you'll see that when I run it, it says that the skew angle is, I don't know why they do it this way. The skew angle is negative 89.711, which means it's actually skewed 0.3 of a millimeter, which is pretty good. I got it fairly straight. So it does a correction on that to straighten it. And then I then grab the blue and get rid of it like a blue screen just by using a mask. And I then do create a threshold, grayscale threshold image. I work out the contours. I then work out the biggest contour it finds, right? So it finds all the squares everywhere and edges. I find the biggest one, right? I just do a max comparison. Then I draw a green box around it, right? And I print out what the size is. Then I work out the pixels per millimeter and the millimeters per pixels. So I can go either way. Is this code in a public repo? No, this is code that's on my desktop. This is something I'm currently working on. This is not ready for public consumption in any way. And I print out the pixels per millimeter, millimeter per pixels. Now, why do I need that? Well, the image is in pixels, but the board is in millimeters. So I need to know where these red boxes are. And I know that the panel is 119 millimeters wide, and there are 3 columns, so I know that each board is X many millimeters, and I need to know what that is in pixels. But I know that the green outline, this green box, is the equivalent of 99 by 119 millimeters. So I can then work it out, right? So when I do a create boards, I pass it the X and the Y, which is the top left, right? 0, 0 on an image. But it's not of the image, it's of the green box, because I need to know where it starts. And I pass it how many pixels per millimeter. And you can see here the pixels per millimeter is 30.1428. So every 30.1428 pixels on the screen is 1 millimeter. And then I go through them and I draw red things. Now this count thing is a hack. So I can, for instance, tell it to only draw 5. Just hit a spacebar to close that. If I run it again, I really need to fix this window thing. You can see that it's only drawn 5 red boxes now. So it's just a hack for me to play around with limiting how many it draws. And that's basically where I'm up to right now. Right, then it shows the image and it waits for a key to close. So this is the starting point. The next thing I need to do from here is to teach it. Hope there's enough RAM. What? What are we, hey Mike. Okay, just remember, if it's a question for me, please at me, because there's a lot of chat going past and I don't know. Oh, Adam Bryant asked, why is he working on OpenCV? Is he making himself a new pick and place? No, this is for optical inspection. So if you think about this board right now, currently I would take the board and I'd put it under my microscope and I would go and look at every single component on the board to see if any of them need to be reworked. Now that takes time. On something like this, there aren't as many components, but something like my, Feather S2 boards or my Tiny Picos or whatever, the number of components I need to check is massive, and it's really easy to miss them because they're really small and fatigue and everything else. Now, it'd be really, my plan is that a system like this, I can stick it under there, a system like this will immediately say, I'm pretty sure this board is good, or I'm not quite sure, but you need to look in this area. Okay? It doesn't have to explicitly tell me every single part that's bad. That'd be nice if I can get it that way. What resolution are you planning to use? No, this is 4K. This image is 4K right now. That's as a single image. I don't know if this is going to be... This might be enough. Like, the maximum window that this shows on my computer right now is only 50% of the image size. Like, it just doesn't fit, right? I don't think I'm going to get enough fidelity. But we'll see. They're 0402 components. Like these passives, they're all... Except for this one here, which is a 0603 cap. The rest of them are 0402. I don't know if there's enough pixel data there. But my plan eventually is to use a global shutter camera right up close and be taking photos of individual boards. But that's a mechanical problem. And for now, I want to play with a software problem. Yeah, 8K would be nice if I could get an 8K camera. But this photo was just taken with my DSLR for the moment. So, I have got, you'll see here, this is an export of all my components from Eagle. Now, this is basically the pick and place data I use when I export from Eagle to go over to the Neoden. It's using my Neoden exporter, but I've renamed it to export AOI, and it's basically, if I run the script here, it pops up a window and I can just click OK and it exports it as a CSV. So I need to load in this CSV and I need to parse it, and so that's where I'm going to get all my parts data from. Now, that's going to be fine for working out the center of each part. This will give me the center of each part, but ideally I want to know what the bounds of each part is based on their footprint, so I know the area to be looking at. There's no point looking at just the resistor. I need to look at the resistor and the pads for the resistor to see if it's reflowed properly or not. Global instant, like you snap and it's there. Right, yes. A global shutter means that it takes the whole image instantly, but they're generally much lower resolution, where a rolling shutter actually builds the image. So it can't, if you're moving the camera quickly, a global shutter, if you go like this and take shots, you'll get perfectly sharp images where it's taken photos. Where with a rolling shutter, it'll be blurry because it's not finished the frame by the time you've moved it. But you can do much, much higher resolution. Right? Yeah, if you take it, as Mary says, if you take a rolling shutter of a propeller, it'll be blurry. And if you take it of a global shutter, yeah, mostly clear. It depends on the camera, right? Because it's an instantaneous capture of the whole sensor frame. But because of that, it's limited on how many pixels it can grab. Hey, Lucian, no, magnets won't work. Yeah, no, I mean, anyway, yeah. My solution's for vacuum, and as you'll maybe see in my video when it comes out Friday or this weekend, it requires vacuum. Jayton, I've already made a stream about this and discussed all the different things I'm going to be doing with my optical inspection. I'll be using different color, different angles for photography, all that type of stuff. For now, that's not what I'm working on today. All I want to do today is PCB and board classification, right? By the end of the stream, I'd like to be able to mark every single part on a board, and potentially also the bounding box. So the code I'm using here is it's my modification of someone else's modification of someone else's modification of someone else's modification of an original SparkFun Eagle exporter. Right? It's been hacked by a lot of different people, and I've hacked it quite a lot to make it work with my need an 8, because I need specific data, specific fields in a specific order, right? So then I would go with the train. Okay. So this right now doesn't give me the bounds, and I need to have it give me the bounds. But for this to start with, though, I'm going to just have it import the position and see if I can stick a little tick or something on all the different positions of the board. Right, okay, let's just get into it. I'm just going to, sorry. And for those that are suggesting other ways I could be doing this, just so we're clear, that's cool. I'm going to ignore you because, I've got a deliberate purpose to do things the way I'm doing it right now. I'm not looking for a better or different way. There's lots of different ways to skin a cat with this, and there are lots of tools already out there and lots of example code that do all sorts of really cool things, but I'm after something specific right now. I'm not after the end result. I'm after classification. I have, yes, an overhead document scanner isn't what I want. Neither is putting it in a flatbed scanner. Anyway, go back and look at my previous stream if you all want to, where I do a complete discussion about what I'm trying to build and why I'm using the techniques I'm using, and why I'm not using other techniques that people suggested. As I said, today is about software. Today is about image recognition, not about what camera, what rig, or anything else like that. I wasn't just a different way just to test if the part was there in the right place. So Ian, I wasn't referring to you, sorry. Assign a squareness to the border or pad allowance. I'm not doing, no, okay. Once again, I'm not scanning the image for the part. I'm not doing any image recognition at all. Image recognition for what I want is absolutely pointless, right? I'm not looking for the pads or for the part. I know where they all are. I've got the data because I made the board, right? So yeah, okay. Let's. So I've got a board. So I'm going to load up the CSV. I need to then go through it. So I'm just using the CSV module. So the different headings I've got are designator, footprint, mid X, mid Y. I don't need all the pads or the references. I need the rotation. So I want the designator, footprint, mid X, mid Y, and rotation. I might grab this up here. And I'm going to make this really simple for now. I'm going to make it, God, I can't type. Okay, breathe, Sion. My designator, I want footprint. I want X. Center X equals row mid X. I hate coding live, I really do. But you know, whatever. Yeah, again, these are all in millimeters. And I want the rotation. Okay, I'm not worrying about multi-layer boards or anything right now. Okay, I'm going to then no, I probably want to do a stick it in the dictionary. Sorry. I need some coding music. Okay, and then I'm going to, yeah, no, go away. I'm going to add that dictionary. Append into a list. List of parts. I don't need parts count. And then at the end of doing that, I'm going to, just for now, print F components. Oh my gosh. Yes, I'll fix the O in a minute. I just want to get the data in and then we can play with it. Okay. So I can do a load components now. So I create the boards and then I want to do a panel. Hang on. Do I want to? No, I don't need to. Yes, I can't spell. Components, yeah, okay, and boards, and then I want to self dot components equals none. And at the end of this, I want to do a create boards, and I want to do a def load components self, and I want to do a equals board. The class is called board, and I need to pass it the file name. So it'll just be the current name We'll see if this works. I'm going to use, let's make a f name equals the board name dot replace base with components dot replace JSON comma CSV print fname just so I can see what it is. Component 10. Is it finished yet? No, it's not finished yet. So I create a new board and then I want to do tell it to load components f name, and watch this break. Okay, so let's see if this breaks. Why am I in? Why do I have that Python session? Okay, here we go. This will probably break. It did not break, but did it load the board? Each board list is not defined. Yeah, skew pixel. That's drew the board. Okay. What did I miss? Did I not call? Oh, I didn't call load components. Yeah, good one, Sion. Let's get rid of that image. We're going to do panel data dot load components after I've loaded the board. Now it breaks. Yes. No such file or directory. R2S audio shield. What? What did I call? Oh, right. Okay, so I want to do this. No, I'm going to do this differently. I'm going to have the init call it, because that's why. So load components at the end of here, panel loaded. I'm going to call self.load components and pass it the file name. I need the file name, not the board name. That's why. Okay, and get rid of what I put here. I don't want it loaded there. Because I can load the data without having the board definitions yet, without laying it all out. No such file or directory. Isn't what I called it? I2S audio underscore components. Oh, where's the .cv? Right, okay. I know what that is. I need to add the .cv. Make an f string. .csv. Okay, try again. There we go. So, here's the components it loaded. We read the loop from 5 iterations as well. Yeah, I'll get, yeah, that's fine. The loop doesn't matter right now. So that's just printed out all the data, and it all seems to be there. So there's a package type, there's a center X, center Y, and a rotation, and the designator, yeah, which is the designator. Yeah, cool. Okay, so it's loading all the data in. That is excellent. So now we need to do something with the data. I don't need to print the file name anymore because that's silly. And I'm not going to print out all of the stuff because that's a lot of stuff. Okay. So I should be able to go through that data and mark stuff on every board. Thanks, Bitlooney. Catch you later. And I'll put this back to 15 for now. Okay, so that's where it draws the rectangle of each one. Now inside that, I will. I'm going to do it here. So I'm going to pick one part for now. What part are we going to do? Let's do R1, yeah, just for now, to make it nice and easy. So I want to go, yeah, again, I'll just brute force it. R1 equals panel data dot components. And I'm looking for the component that's got the designator No, it's going to be much easier just to iterate through them. Okay, I'm just going to go for part in components, components dot items, and I won't do part, I'll do name, value, or key value, whatever. If name equals R1, so I only want the R1, I'm going to do a CV2 dot. Now, what am I gonna draw? I don't even know what things I can draw. Should I do I'll just do a square, or a rectangle for now, right? Rectangle, and it's gonna be at, I'll make it nice and easy to get the variables out. X is gonna be, name equals R1, I'm going to say the component. Live coding really sucks. Equals, I want that item. No. Okay, this is not good. I'm not doing this right. Start again. I'm going to say for component in. Got to go through the components list. Right, now I've got the component. I want to say if component designator equals R1, if it's R1, I now want to say X equals component, what is it? Center X I called it. Center X, and did I use capitals? No, I didn't. Good. Y equals component center Y. And I want to create a rectangle. No, is there a circle? What's the circle? There must be a circle, right? OpenCV circle. What do I need for a circle? I need center. Oh, God, go away. And now I can't scroll. What? Okay, that's annoying. Drawing functions. Circle. Center, radius, color, thickness. Okay, that's not a problem. So it's x comma y. That probably needs to be in center, comma. Maybe it doesn't. We'll try it. Radius will be, I don't know, make it 5 for now. Now that x and y isn't correct because they're in millimeters. I need to convert them back to pixel coordinates, but that's okay. And I want it to be 200, 0, 0 be blue-ish, comma, and thickness I'll make it 3. I don't know if these need also, but we'll see. Yeah, I should poke. It'd be good if I could poke them. Okay, so now, but I need to convert these over. So I need that to be, I need it to be an int. And I want it to, so that's in millimeters. I need the, so divided by pixels per millimeter. No, times. Or divided by millimeters per pixel. Times millimeters per pixel. I'm sure I got that back to front. And I'm going to draw the circle. And let's see if that does anything. Probably won't, it'll probably break. But here we go. Board is not iterable. Of course it's not. Component panel, components. Oh, components. Dot components. Okay, dot components. So components is the name in the panel data, and the list is actually, that's the class and that's the list inside. That's okay. I'll clean those names up later. Invalid literal for int. Oh, they got millimeters on them. Right, so now to clean up some data. So the center X will be, it'll be that dot replace, get rid of the millimeters with, oops, with nothing. And I could probably just make it an int straight away. That's what I should do. I'm going to make that an int. And make this an int. And rotation will also probably have degrees in it, I reckon. We'll find out. It might not like that. We'll see. If I go back to here, I can get rid of the int. Okay. Literal for base 10. Okay, print row. Let's see what it doesn't like. Okay, the row is, oh, that's for the heading. Okay, I want it to, Thanks, Marius. Hey, Cable Tie. Look who wandered in. Hello, Rick. No, it's trying to process the headings right now. So I need to count equals 0, and I want to say, I know this is stupid, but if count is greater than 0. I'm sure there's an easier way to do this. I'm sure there's a way that I can tell it to read the headings and get rid of it, but I don't know what that is right now. Count plus equals 1. Okay, so this should now skip the headings. Right, and now it's giving me the data, which is good. And now, what doesn't it like? Right. So it's getting rid of the, what's the rotation got? Right, rotation as an int is fine. It's not liking the, I'm gonna have to do them as a float. Okay, there we go. Can't pass center input, doesn't provide sequence protocol. Okay, anyway, it's grabbed it now as a float. It didn't like parsing the string, because everything comes in as a string. Just see the request for making a video on grounding, powering boards in a test jig. Hey, BB. Yeah, but I've covered that. I'm not going to make a video of it, because I've covered that in my previous streams and stuff when I talk about my test jigs. I've gone over those things quite a few times. So, like, that's a very niche, dedicated video. Does anyone else know what I mean when I say I'm on a horse, I'm on a horse? I don't need petrol as it runs on carrots. No, I don't know what that means. Hey, Christian. Act upon one's self-hate than having to deal with OpenCV. Really? Hey, Quindor. Hi to everyone I haven't said hi to. What's wrong with, and thanks for the super chat, Maris. What's wrong with OpenCV? Anyway, okay, let's get rid of that. I don't need the print now. And it just doesn't like my circle thingo. And yes, this needs to be pixels per millimeter. Yeah. Let's print center is X, comma, Y. Bad argument. Why does it think my center is 492.386? What? Mid X. R1, it should be mid X should be 35.9, 16.3. Let's just make sure that they are what I think they're going to be. Why? What's wrong with this? Right. The quotes. So, 35.9, 16.3. Is that in pixels? Okay. So maybe I do need to stick the X and the Y inside brackets. No? Bad argument in function circle. Overload resolution failed. Can't pass center. Int and radius. draws a circle. So what's wrong with the... So the center needs to be center of the circle. So what's wrong with that? Center of the circle, the radius, the color, the thickness. Hello, Andrew Wise. Center is type point. How do I make a point? In Python, please. Okay. OpenCV Python circle. Let's try this again. How to draw a circle in Python using OpenCV. There you go. Don't always make a point. I should make a point. I just want someone's code. Right. Well, helps to actually pass it the image, right? That probably helps. But still no. Okay, so the image, right, and center equals. Yeah, it's brackets, whatever. So image, center, radius, color. I don't have to pass it the names, so I don't understand. I mean, this doesn't look any different. I mean, obviously the data does, but to mine, right? Sub x comma y, unless it, oh, right. Oh, hang on. Radius equals 5, color equals 200, thickness equals 3. So this is still going to fail, but maybe because it doesn't like the floats. So maybe I still have to mark these as an int, because you can't really pass it a float, can you? Yay! Except, where's my circles? Circle! There we go. There's a blue circle. And it's not in the right spot. Okay, let me just make it bigger. Hang on. Radius 25, thickness 5. Okay, at least it's drawing a thing now. Okay, that's where it thinks the resistor is. And it's actually there, or one of these two. I don't know which one. I can't remember which one it is. That's okay. Hey, Microtype. How you doing, Kyle? Add offset for the board position. Yeah, but this is still... Oh, right. It could be up here. Which one is... Yes, it needs the offset for the board position. Thanks. So ideally I'd pre-process these anyway, but X and Y plus, okay, I need this to be C underscore. I'm just happy it drew a circle. Plus X, and this one is plus Y, and they are coming from the board up here. Okay, let's try that. Yay! Look, it's almost right. There's one there, one there, one there, one there. So that must be R1. So let's just double check. Is that R1? That's R10. It's in the right position in charm high units. Hey, Alan. D1. I don't even know what R1 is. R9. That's kind of weird. I also should. I'm just going to change the color. It needs to be brighter. So we can see it. On your for loop, skip the header rows to use this. Oh, thanks, Andrew. Okay, cool. Thanks. So I'm going to use enumerate and start equals 1. As I said, I knew there'd be a more elegant way to do it. What do you show me? What color is that, Mark? Is that a nice blue, is it? Do you want me to use that, do you? What color is that going to be? Better be a nice blue. What? Okay, didn't like that. Did not like this at all. There must be another way to skip the heading. It's a Rickroll. Is that pink, is it? Okay, I can make it pink. I'm happy to make it pink. Pink is fine. We can do pink. Actually, you know what I can do? I know what I can do. I can just say if parts designator, if it's none, if it's in, none, or that, then we're going to continue. So if there's no designator, it's just going to skip it. Or I can just do instead, no, I won't even do that. I don't have to skip it. I can just say if it's not in, local reference, oh, not parts, if row. What? Capital D. Hey Johnny, thanks mate. There we go. Well, that's kind of more purple than pink. Make the world more pink. We did that. Morning. Funny, I spent a couple of hours yesterday playing with OpenCV face detection. Did you have fun, Iggy? I don't mind OpenCV. It's pretty cool. I'm gonna turn my heater on though. And my second coffee's cold. That is not a bright enough pink. We need a brighter pink. Hang on. Let's get a really bright pink. 119255. Oh yeah, that'll do. 119255. And make it bigger. Let's make it bigger. Because I'm not solving the position. I'm just playing around with pink. There you go. That's pink for you. Yeah, it's probably BGR. I'm not on my third coffee yet. I probably don't need a third coffee right now. What I do need to do though is warm up a bit because it's a bit cold in here. Okay, so let's work out. So where is R1? I probably need to know where R1 is first. This is the worst schematic ever. I haven't cleaned it up yet. I will before I publish it. R1, 100K, it's on the SD detect. And SD detect is up here. So this is R1. So R1 is at the top. And it thinks, right, yes, I know why. I know what's going on. This is correct, but it's not correct. And the reason is, it's actually this one here. But here's the thing. The pick and place data starts at the bottom left. So, I can't see, I've lost my OBS window. This is board 1. So this is 0, 0 over here. But this is 0, 0 for an image, and so it's flipped. So I need to do the other way around. Don't think YouTube is in it. Okay, I'll try that one. Thank you, Mark. You didn't have to do a sec for that. But didn't you like my pink? Isn't that a nice pink? Okay, I can change the pink. Pink equals. Let's make it color equals pink. Okay, we're going to see Mark's pink. There you go, there's Mark's pink. This pink is proudly sponsored by Mark Olson. Thank you. We have lots of sex today. Okay, so I need to do a flip. So I need to make it minus just on the Y. So that will be plus Y. That's the overall, that's Y, minus the width. Width is this way. Length is that way. Oops. So let's try this one. Whoa, that didn't work at all. Oh, right, because width and length in this case are the plus reckon width minus you think so? Maybe. So I'll explain why this is a problem. Yeah, that's interesting. No, that's not right either. It's going to cascade. So the way the drawing works in OpenCV, it's not X and Y and the width and the sorry, it's not X and Y, then width and height. It's top left position, bottom right position. So this WL here is not passing it. So it's not 0, 0, and if you want 100 by 100, then 100 by 100. It's the 4 points. So this W and L is already calculated the width and the length plus the X and the Y of the board, which is why that image, if you see these here, these are staggering. They're getting further and further apart. They're offsetting because that W and L already includes the X and the Y for the board, right? So that's a bit of a problem. I don't actually have the width of the board in pixels at this point in time. That's not stored inside the board data. So I'm going to need to add that in. So this create boards, I need to also append in, see it's got here POSX plus, POSY plus. I'm also going to add to the end of it just the length and the width. And I should really do this as a dictionary. Okay, so now I'm going to do X width, comma. I know I've got them back to front. Width and then length in pixels. Okay, and then I'm going to call these just for now underscore, comma, underscore, because I don't know what else I'm going to call them. I'll clean all this up. I'll turn it into a dictionary. So I want so it's that, and it's adding it. So it'll be W minus maybe, but probably not. Might have to be at the front, like Andrew said. Yeah. W minus nope, nothing. Just Z for row and enumerate one. It'd be much easier if I just fixed all this and did all of the. Yeah, if I flipped it. I wonder if is there a way in OpenCV to flip the to set the origin? Ooh, hang on. OpenCV set image origin. Ooh. Is there a simple way to set the flip? Reverse the height or column pixels. We'll get the results below. Oh, look at this. So if I do a flip, it's on the Python syntax. No, I don't want that. I actually want to flip it. Can I just flip it? Anyone know if I can just flip it? I don't want to track an adjusted value. I want to actually OpenCV Python image flip. God, I hate this website. Go away. Check the flip image across the x-axis, y-axis. I don't want to actually change the image. I just want to flip the coordinates. Yeah, no, I don't want to flip. No, okay, that's not what I want. Damn. Flip image, draw circle, flip it back. No. I need to get a proper coordinate system going. I can't keep flipping images to do all those things to then flip them back again. I just need to see what's inside this data. Centrix Y. W. So for the first one, $11.95. Thinks the center's there. Oh, right, the width is, that's why that's not working, because that's always the same width and height. That's the width in pixels. It's not the screen position. Yeah, just, hey Jay, yeah, that's what I want to just do the maths right, and that's what I'm going to do the maths right. But I thought that was a rolling thing, but that's a fixed. These are fixed values. So I can't just minus it. I need to... So it's going to be, just bear with me a second, it's going to be W minus the height, the, minus, so that's the image bottom right of the thing minus the height of the thing plus maybe I don't even need the, okay. Almost. Some of them got it. That one there, and that one there, and that one there, but then they went funky. Hey Yaz. God, this is messing with my head. W has already got the position. Finds it in stock, falls out of bed. Really? It won't be in stock tomorrow though. Better buy them all. Use the work. I don't know. Yeah, this is frustrating. I'm gonna do something different because I wanted to do this anyway. I'm gonna actually build the data the other way around. So create board. So here, I'm going to say, this is a panel rect. And I'm going to say that I'm going to build the board. I'm going to give it the bottom left. So it's going to be, instead of the top left, I'm going to do the bottom left and build this thing backwards. That's what I'm going to do. If I build it backwards, then everything will be right to start with. So create boards. So the first board is now going to be the bottom left of the rectangle. And then I'm going to say the length, that's all fine. X is correct, and pos Y is going to be Y minus. And I need to do, it's doing column then rows, I need to do the other way around. I want it to do rows then columns. So I'm going to make this build the same way my pick and place builds it, which is bottom left and then moves across. So it does that way, then the next, and next, and next. And then this might, and what I need to do is, anyone know how to draw text? Python, draw text. Draw text, write text, put text. Put text. Okay, please everyone remind me to stop clicking on those links. Pisses me off. Put text, image, hello world, bottom left corner of text, font, scale. Jeez, why is that so hard? Okay, I'm just going to do that. I'm going to put the label of each one. I know, terrible. I'm just going to leave this, I don't care. Just for the moment, I'm going to, bottom left of the corner is going to be X and Y, and font scale, it's going to be white. That's fine, whatever. And it's going to be I know, once again, terrible. Index going to be 0. I'm going to be drawing index. It might not let me, like putting an int there, and I want to do index plus equals 1. Can't convert int to string. I knew it was going to do that. Let's make it an F string. Okay. Well, that didn't work. Probably because it didn't get the offset right. And I can't see any labels. Can anyone see any labels in white? Nope. Maybe it needs to be bigger. And so and this will be minus equals, and oh no, and it'll be pos minus, maybe. Okay, yay. So the red box is in the right spot now. I can't see any labels. What am I missing? Put text, image. Oh, because it's not image, is it? No. Sub. Okay. Yay! Except, okay, there is a 0. Okay, that font, really hard to see. You can see a 3 and a 6 and a 9. Okay, that's working. Except I need to, I'll start at 1. That's fine. And it's stupid having them there. I want a nicer font. What's a nicer font? And it'll be X plus 50 Y. Minus 50. Anyone know a nice font I can use? OpenCV fonts. OpenCV fonts. I'd use a minus. I'm happy for any font. Hershey, all these Hershey ones. Century Gothic. Comic Sans. Normal, more complex. Handwriting style, smaller version. Right, there's only just this one font, Hershey. Really? Okay, that didn't work. It didn't like. Is that not what it's called? Hershey Duplex. Font Hershey Duplex. Is there a thickness? Is there actually a thickness option? I don't know. I'm not getting any printing now of the font. Oh my god. Because I'm not adjusting the thing every time. So they're all printing in the same spot. Okay. It's there, it just needs to minus 50. Still not great. Yeah, X and Y inside the loop. Silly Sion. It's over the other numbers, so I should make it red. Like the border. Okay. There you go. So they're numbered correctly now. And they're numbered from 0, 0. This is 0, 0 now. So now this should just be X and Y. I hope. No. It's offset. That one should be that one. Oh, minus Y? Ooh. Y should be the bottom left. How do I make it thick? Oh, look at that. Got it. Got it, kind of. Okay, that's the resistor. How do make what thick? The font? I don't know how to make it thick. Someone can give me the syntax for making the font thick. That'd be great. But there's the resistor. Okay. But it's got that pad there. Now that... So I think I know what that might be. So in Eagle, I'm trying to get it to use the calculated center by pads rather than the origin center. But I might just export it again as the origin center just for now and see if that fixes it. Include a second component. I will in a second. I will. I need to first get this file. Copy, paste. But I don't need that. Solder jumpers don't need. Logo I don't need. Fiducials are there. I should have actually got it to mark the fiducials. Yeah, so that still is offset. So I can actually just tell it to do every component just for fun. It's going to do a circle around every component. Look at that. Can you make the image at 50% opacity? Will it make it easier to see the overlay just whilst debugging? I don't know if I can. I could probably blend some black onto it. So you can see here that the fiducial, everything's to the left slightly. And I'm not sure why. So close. Catch you later, Dave. Have a good sleep. There's a fiducial underneath when I'm assembling it. So that's what that circle is there. You have to halve the width. Yeah, they're all offset. No, the center X should be the correct center X. Like the mid X should be correct. It should be the center point of the component. I know that they're correct because on my pick and place they're correct. Some of the components other side. No, it's only a single-sided board. Hey Gary, by the way, and hi to anyone I haven't said hi to that's popped into chat. I know the coordinates are correct. So it's a matter of working out why they're offset in here. Hey Emery, good night mate. I don't want to just move it over because that just doesn't make any sense. Let's make the red a bit brighter so I can see that, but I'm just going to go back to the R just for the moment because it's too much stuff otherwise. I think we're going to need to do a quick toilet break, everyone, because I'm over caffeinated. Is the image cropped properly? Yeah, I mean, you can see, look at the bounding boxes on the image. I mean, that's spot on, right? Look at the red around each board. That's detecting it fine. See you later, Bulent. Draw a circle at board origin. Sure. So let's, okay. But I know the board origin is right because of the rectangle. But okay, yep, I can do that. I'm going to do a circle at X, Y. And I'm going to make it 5.255, 255. I'm going to make it white. As you can see, the circle is right. So they're at the right spot. Whether it's fiducial, it doesn't matter, like fiducial or they're all offset the same. So, which one's the bottom fiducial? Fid 1, okay. It's going to be the same result. Right, as you can see, the fiducial's offset. Folks, we're going to do a toilet break. So let's back in 5 minutes. Okay? If I can find... Here we go. Back in 5. Okay, I'm back. Hope Xeon doesn't have the same offset. Oh, that's very funny. That is very funny. What about a component on the left side of the board? What do you mean? This is the left side of the board. What do you mean? Yeah, that was, I don't know how long that was. But I'm over caffeinated. No, I just ran quickly. Yeah, I thought about it going back and forwards between rounding, but it's pretty consistent. It's possible. It is possible. Also, it could be that when I'm when I do a load components, I mean, they're still afloat anyway. And when I'm drawing them, when I'm getting the thing, I'm converting it to an int after. So I don't really think it's going to be I don't think round's going to make any difference. Personally. Yeah, I mean, an int does the same. It's just going to round it. Can you measure the... I don't know what it is, and I know that there's no offset in the data coming out of Eagle. Just to confirm that, I will actually use my non-modified version, which is this, and I will... So that is what, this is what goes directly into my pick and place machine. And I know the data's good because I pick and placed yesterday, didn't I? If I run that again, yeah, it's still offset. Do the calculation in float and only go to int when each... But I did that. In here, like I'm rounding it after I've done the pixels per... I mean, okay, sure, I can... You mean that? But the Y is correct. So it's just the X that's not correct. See, it's no different. Like the amount it's out is massive. Johnny, check Discord. Oh, that's not for me. Okay. Send me a screenshot on Discord. You're going to count the pixels, are you? Yeah, if I do a screenshot, I can't send it on Discord. It's going to be too big. I have to make it really small to do a screenshot. This is a 5K screen, so Discord limits, but I can write out the file in here. So let me just, how do I write a file? OpenCV Python write image, save image write. Okay, I can do an image right, and then I can hopefully copy it over. Bang, and I'll write it to for Mark sub. See if this saves it. Is there a for Mark? Doesn't look like it. Okay, maybe I'm gonna have to actually see where it wrote it. Where'd it put it? Oh, it's just not on the list. I just need to refresh. It's there in Finder. Okay, so I'll put this in Discord for you, Mark. You can see the file. Oh, I can see the file there now. Right, okay. Maybe I'm just blind. Yeah, it's 17.7 meg. I can't... I'm going to have to shrink it right down. Or I have to... Let me compress it for you. Export. There we go. 94. That'll do. So I'm just compressing it. Sorry, JPEGing it. I just JPEG'd it. 4.6. Okay. Here you go, Mark. It's in the live stream. Did you get it, Mark? I hope so. Okay. So back to here. I want to... Where's my ULP? For borderlines in the correct spot and not the circles, then there must be a problem around the component positions, right? Well, yes, but I know there's not. As I said, this data is what I use on my pick and place machine. I'm pretty sure it's accurate. Maybe it's just not liking the pixels per millimeter. No, it's not that. To choose if you're going to deal with pixels or dimensions, and be careful intermixing. Well, no, I'm only using pixels, but all the data is coming in millimeters. So I convert them, right? I'm not working in millimeters. They are millimeters. I'm converting them to pixels. X is the board, is the position of the board, because there's different boards on the panel. So if I just say count 1, so it'll only do one board, which will be the bottom left board. Okay. There's the bottom left board. You can see that it's out. Okay, it's got the bottom corner correct. And it's out. It's just marked that one board. I'm not getting you. No, I'm not getting you. With pixels or dimensions. I see what you're saying. I need both. OpenCV does a rect, as in position to position. It doesn't do position, comma, dimensions. But I have to work in dimensions, like, because that's how my board, like if it was a single board, it wouldn't matter. 24 pixels out, which is about 85% of a millimeter-ish, or something, 90% of a millimeter. The global offset's 0. So there's no offset. There's no offset in the pick and place data coming out. It's pixel to pick. So if you look here, if I look at the fiducial one, it's at 0.597, okay? 0.597, and if I look over here, this is at Oh, I found the problem. I got the problem. I got it. The export is correct. The board, I must have moved the board by accident yesterday when I was piss farting around. Look at my origin. Ah! Oh boy. Wow. Oops. That would explain a lot. That would explain a lot. Wow. That was a nice waste of time. If it was cropped, that's not a crop. That's a, Anyway, yep, okay, well. I learned how to draw circles in text and labels, so that's good. Oh, man. Copy. Oh. What the? Oh. Apparently I can't copy and paste. I don't need these. Okay, let's try this again. Oh, interesting. It's better, but it's still out. Well, the coordinates were correct. I must have shifted this thing last night. Or early this morning I shifted it. I don't know. I mean, guys, it pick and placed perfectly. So the coordinates were correct. Okay. Anyway, so it now thinks that this is 1.2319. And the data thinks it's at 1.23, yeah, 2. It rounds it a little bit. Missed the moon by 10 kilometers. Yeah, sorry. There you go. What's gigo, Andrew? Hey, Greg. The coordinates were right. They were right to the export. They exported correctly. The board moved. I'd moved the board. Anyway. It just still has a problem. And I wonder if... Okay, so let me now try this. Put it back to origin center. So it could be my calculations for center of bounding box. Is what it could be. But I don't think so, because that looked correct. Okay, let's put it back to all 15 boards. Okay, interesting. So look at this. This one looks right. That one looks to the left. Left and up a bit. They're close, but not close. Look. See, this looks more like rounding errors. That looks like a rounding error to me. A millimeter rounding error. But that's much closer. Like, some of them are dead on. That's what I would have expected if it was a rounding error. So they're being left as floats. Just curious. Is this gonna not like this? Yeah, okay. Gonna put it back to an int. But I wasn't, I was rounding it just then. And this is giving me the same results now, whether I did an int or a round. It's gonna give the same thing. Exactly what? What? Got to keep the board location as floats to the last minute. The board location, well, they look correct. Mostly correct. I mean, that's... But like, if you look at this one here, like some of these are completely out, which is my concern. Like that one there looks quite skewed. But the board looks correct. You have to convert to iterations of pixel size. The board is rotated, but that's, again, that all happens at the very start. If you look at the red lines, you look where the board divisions are, that's using the post-rotated image and data. And everything else is using that. So this is not a rotation thing. Like these other ones wouldn't be, some of these wouldn't be sitting in the right spot otherwise. Errors are accumulating from the top left. No, I don't think they're accumulating from the top left, because look at that, that's out to the left a bit. That one's not. That's fine, and that one's fine. And then this one's completely out over here. Way more out than this one is. I don't think it's accumulating from the top left. Send you a pic again. Mark, screenshot the what do you call it? I can't send PNGs that big, and I don't want to have to go and convert it every time. No, it's not JLC wonkiness. Again, the red lines mark the board properly. It's not a lens calibration issue. It's not... Okay. If it was lens distortion, the red lines wouldn't line up, folks. Look at the red lines. Look at the white circles on the bottom corners. The pink circles might look like lens distortions, but then the red lines and everything else would be distorted. Like there's a tiny little bit. If you look at the... Hang on. So here's the thing. Let me get this... How much bigger can I make it? To show you. Yes, you can see that the red line isn't perfectly on the V-score. You see it's slightly out there, and then it's through the middle here. There is a little bit of distortion, yes, but the amount of distortion isn't matching where the circles are. Like with that distortion here, that amount of gap up here, this circle here should be offset more, and it's not. And then you look at if you look at the bottom one, which I can't quite squeeze into the frame, this one is completely off, way more than the line, the red line is out, yet the white circle is in the right spot. Look at the pink circle edge versus the red edge. What? I don't know what that means. X pixel across the rows. Same X pixel. Yeah, it's. I've only got one set of board data. Keith the EE, like it's one set of board data replicated on all the different boards. How many different pixels? How many pixels do you have from the pad line, from the pad, in the two different cases? I don't know. I can't count how many pixels. Prefixing the 24, the pink circles were all exactly the same. Right, and now they're not all exactly the same. So, I mean, it could be that oops. Anyway, look, this is not going to... I shouldn't let this stop me from keep going forward. Yeah, I'd say it's a pretty significant rounding error, but you got to remember there's 30 pixels per millimeter. And so if the millimeter is being rounded slightly, like the float is being rounded down and then convert the pixels as well, then it could be. Grab an image of a board in the center, set opacity to 20% and overlay it over a board at the edge and compare. I don't understand. Look at the difference in distance between the white circle and pin 23. Sure. I mean, yeah. As I said, it's... There's definitely distortion. I get this. There's distortion. But anyway, there's not a lot I can do about that right now with my rig and everything else. I'm gonna move on from this issue right now, and like these are good enough right now for me to move on to the next step. Yeah, like I can't do anything about being in a vacuum table. I can't do anything about the distortion on this right now, and I'm not going to start playing around with image correction when I can't adjust for my lens when I'm not using this lens or this setup. When I've got my new cameras and I've got everything else set up, then I can do it based on that. Thanks, Keith, the EE. Send you the code and data, I can help you much. Okay, well, I'm still working on it, so that's okay. I'm not overly worried about this right now. I'm going to move on to, I need to, in here, I need to work out how I can export. So this is the ULP from Eagle. I need to work out how I can export, how it's calculating the center of the pads and how I can export the here. So it's using this section here to get the center based on the pads. So the EX, I need to go back and work out where this is all being calculated and see if I can get the bounds. Okay, elements. X min X max divided by 2. That's where it's getting the center of the X min X. Okay, so I need to output X min, X max, Y min, and Y max for each board as well. And that will give me, Chris, what are you doing? Plus or minus, big number. You need to use a linear scanner. No, I don't need to. I don't need that accuracy, guys. I don't need that accuracy, and doing it through a camera is fine. And I mean, that we were just chasing. Once I got the coordinates right, the whole distortion thing, it doesn't matter. You'll see why in a moment. Like, it really doesn't matter. Not for this exercise. As I said, I'm not shipping a product tomorrow with this. So X min X, the question is, where's that being set? See, they're not being saved. How do I get them? Oh, there is max, min, max. What are they being used for? Export length. Okay, I want, is it going to be ints? I don't know. Probably should be reals. Real, I want a, underscore min X. Don't ask. Just so I can find it later. Min Y. Max X, max Y. I'm going to see if I can grab these at the point it's calculating those pads. If this is the right place. Why are we congratulating Johnny? So spam, be careful, I might need to rickroll you. X min, X max. X min. Max X equals X max. Min Y equals Y min. Wait. By the way, this is the ULP. Like, this is the language inside for Eagle, and it's yuck. Let me tell you. PRN. Where's PRN? Sorry, I'm not even gonna, like, this is just a, it's yuck. Here we go. PRN, for printing the stuff out. E value. real min x, real min y. But I don't have them at that point. I'm going to have to put them inside right. I'm going to have to make a you have to be an array. Damn it. Okay. I need the bounds, remember? I need the bounds of the pads. Okay, so I need that. And max y. Y max. Okay. And then in the print, I can God, this is really disgusting. I need, it's a 0.3 F%. I mean a percent 0.3 F. So doing name, we've got X and Y. X, Y, X and Y, and 0 and 0. I'm going to use actually those. I'm going to put, so I've got X and Y. I'm going to put underscore, what was it? Min X index N. Have I lost everyone? Probably. Sorry. Min, and that'll be max X and min Y. Oops. And oh God. Look at me. Can't type. Max X, min Y, and this will be max Y, min Y, max Y, min X, max X. Okay, let's see what this gives me. Is it really better? Hey Bradley. I don't know. I hate it. I really dislike it. But anyway, calculated, whatever. Okay. Well, it didn't crash. That's a good start. But it didn't. It's not running. Whoa. Yeah, no, it is, but the data, that is not right. That is, oh, that doesn't get bigger. Those min and maxes are not correct. So these values here, yeah, it'd be nice if they just used Python. And KiCad, they're moving towards Python for all their scripting. Maybe these min and max are not. So this is where it's going through the package. It's got the element origin, value mirror name, package name, all that stuff. And here, in the contacts of the package, element coordinate calculated over SMT pad. And I'm basically grabbing the X-min, X-max. I'm grabbing those values that it should be calculating here. For each component. And I'm putting them in the, I should rename the headings. So they're not, so it's mid, so it's not ref, it's min X, max X, min Y. I'll show you what it's outputting in a second. Max Y. Okay, so let me run this again. Calculate by center pads. Maybe it doesn't even need, either way. Right, so let me just load this in. Okay, so you can see we've got X min. So mid, then we've got min X, min Y, max Y. Look at the values though. They're huge. So they're not right. D-pad gives dimensions and then you get XY for center. Yeah, but that of a pad, isn't it? Oh, no, I don't want to do it from the Gerber. They might be internal units. I don't know because it's grabbing the. Yeah, it's possible they're not in millimeters. What's U2mm? Oh, maybe it needs this. You're right. Yes, it would be. You're right. So I'll need, it's this. I have to convert it. Yeah, I don't want to do it off the Gerber. I want to do the one export. The Gerber doesn't give me any of the rest of the data I need. Not until there's a better Gerber version. Okay, so that might fix it. I wonder what their internal units are. Ah, that looks better. No, it doesn't. Why? Or maybe. No. Why is the LED... Okay, let me just... I'll load that in here to show you. So, if you look at the LED... So these are in millimeters now. It says that the min and the max of the LED looks wider than the center, but the Y is the same. So it's not calculating the top and the bottom of it. Is it in microns, is it? Okay, cool. So that's kind of working, but kind of not. like all the X and the Y's. So all the min and max Y's aren't working. So min Y, Y max. Did I get those names right? Y min, Y max. X min, Y min, X min, Y min. So they should be. It should be working. Min, max. I did print the right values, didn't I? Here's my print. There's the print again. You can never find the print. Here. Max Y, min Y, max X, min X. So min X and max X are working. No, they're all the same. They're all the min and max Y are the same as the mid Y value. But the X's are not. So it's just the Y. And this is where it's working it out here. And this is where I'm storing it. If less than that equals that. If is greater than that, it equals that. And they're not being changed anywhere else that I can see. That's weird. If underscore min equals what? Photochrome X? So what do you mean? Is the package data in CAD accurate? I would expect for AOI that you'd have special AOI values for a given package type. Well, it's not. It should be using the pad type, not the package. Like there is the package contacts. That should be the. So let's find out what the package contacts are. I bet you. Where's the ULP documentation? Eagle ULP docs. I don't want examples. I want the. Where's the docs? Oh, that's right. It's a PDF manual, I think. Oh God, I thought it was a typo in the print function. All right. Two replies. Right. So what I want is it package.contacts. Really? I can't search this? Let's download it. Okay, find package.contacts. No? Package. $58. Contacts. Your package derived from an element. Package is so what's this area? There was package UL area. What's UL area? Ooh. UL area is an abstract object that gives information about the area covered by an object. For UL package, UL symbol, UL absolute drawing coordinates, including the offset of the element, for instance. Area dot x1, x2, y1, y2. Maybe I can use area. Catch you later, Andy Mouse. So where do I get the area? Can I get it from E? Is E dot air? No, is it? Do we need to grab the? It's from the package. So if I go E dot package dot air area. I need an example. So board B, but is B my board? Right, board B. Right, but that's the board area. Oh, right, on that example. Okay. God, I hate this. So this is what I hate about it. I need to create a reference to E package. P. Can I do that? E package P, and can I say P dot air? Area dot x1. Is C the object you want? No, C was the contacts. I want the package. So contacts is one level lower. So maybe I can do that. Oh, except it's P. Right, P dot area. Right, it's case sensitive. Right, okay. So x1, x2, and that should be y1, y1, y2. Okay, maybe that will work. Let's try this. It'll either work or it'll blow up. No, it'll blow up. Package is not a loop member. Right. That does a loop. Maybe I'll go P equals E dot package. Maybe I just need to do that. Or maybe I can just go, hang on, E package dot area. Let's try that. You had an aunt and uncle called Min and Max. Cable tie. Okay, that compiled. And ooh, okay, that looks interesting. That looks interesting. So, get rid of those. Copy. Paste. So we've got now the X is at 34 and the range is 33 whatever to 35 and the Y is at 1.48 and the range is 0.46 to 2. So that looks better. Okay, so what I want to do now is when I parse that in, I now need the, what did I call it? Don't save. So min x min max. Okay, so I've got parts min x equals actually what I want is I don't want that, I want a parts, I'm going to call it a rect equals, and I'm going to stick it inside just all of these in a list. So min y, min x min y to max x and max y, and I'm going to print out the rect here. Okay, catch you later, Dave. Sorry. So these are the rects for each of the components in millimeters. So instead of doing a circle, I'm just going to do that. I'm going to instead say that a rect equals component rect. Had two, but I wrecked them. Sorry. And so that's my rect. Did I put them in? Yeah, they are floats. Good. And then I'm going to say x equals rect position 0 I know it's not a circle, but that's okay. And rect 1 is actually y minus okay, they're my starting, and then these ones will be number 2, 0, 1, 2, and this will be number 3. And I should now be able to do a cv2.rectangle, and it's going to be at cx, cy, cx2, cy2, what else do we need to draw? We need for a rectangle, a color and an outline. Oh, we need it to be pink. And outline of, let's say, at 5. We lost pink. Get pink back. Arduino rectum. Yep, that's the one. Yes, it's a bummer. Okay, let's see if this does anything interesting. Oh, yeah! Bounding box around the part. Minus our offset issues, which we will discuss another time. Bounding box around the part. So, let's see if it works for the SD. We need this to work. It is getting exciting. So what's the name of the SD card? SD1. So let's see if we can get a bounds around SD1. Oh! Woo! Now SD1 is interesting because the bounds of the package includes the outline for the SD card sticking out, which is not great, but you know, it's an image issue now, not a rounding issue. Yeah, it'll be it'll be a distortion issue. Absolutely, there's a distortion in the image. I know there is, but there's no point in me trying to do any lens calibration fixing for it when my camera is not fixed and I'm not using this setup for now. Mask it with the board outline. I can chop it. I can chop that bit anyway. Okay, let's try the speaker. What's the name of the speaker? SP1. Surprise, surprise. Look at that. So what this is going to allow me to do is work out the area I'm comparing, as I said. All components, please. Okay, and you will not... No, I'm not using this camera. I use my DSLR for this. I've got cameras coming. I'll have a proper rig. It'll be fixed, right? I'll be able to do lens distortion. See, for me to fix lens distortion, I need to go back and under this camera put down some type of checkerboard or something that I can measure the distortion from. But every time I touch this camera, it moves. Right? If I just go to here, like every time I grab it, you see this? It's moved and it's rotated and it's shifted, right? And so there's no point in me measuring it now. I took the photo like this, right? But if the camera was obviously slightly like that, which is giving me a slightly wider here than here. Because by eye, it's very hard to tell the difference, right? And every time I touch the camera, it changes. So there's no point in me trying to fix it with this. Right? I need it on a fixed system where it doesn't move. Like the camera can move around, but the lens and the orientation and everything is fixed and doesn't move. So I can't correct for this. That's why right now I'm not worried about the how close or how far this is out, because this code should work properly when there's a proper lens that either has no distortion or has distortion correction. This is a picture, one board, and panelize it by dumping in an image editor. Then you can build code now and fix cam when possible. Right, but I won't be using this image, Jay, that's my point, and I won't be using this camera or anything else. And so I'll have a proper mechanism to do lens correction. I think there's actually variability in the fiducials. Variability. There's all sorts of, I mean, this is a JLC PCB board. It's not of the highest quality. Mount camera over paste stencil printer. No, I don't want it over the stencil printer. So no, the plan is to have good reference images per component, right? That I can compare to. Okay, so I'll show you exactly what I'm talking about, or what I want to fix. I need to find one second. Right, so that one there. Hold on one sec. I need to find out the name of that component is... Hang on, which one was it? Yep. Okay, C2. I'll show you what this system is supposed to be looking at doing. So if I go to C2, I'm actually going to make it thinner, and I wonder if we can might want to expand it a little bit. Anyway, that's okay. If I run this, okay, now you might be able to see that the bounding box is interesting. Why is it square? Anyway, this component here, where my mouse is, you can see that it's wrong. It's off. How do I get this? I can't get the image bigger. Maybe I can. Maybe I can show you by doing this. Open. Because it should still be writing out these files. Right, so if you have a look here, I can zoom right on this one. You see that? That's what I want to detect. And so if you look at this one, that one's good. So the idea is while I'm collecting my data, I will start building a database of 0402 caps in each orientation, yeah, that are good. So like I know that one is good, so that'll get cropped like this eventually, right? Where what I get is, forget about the pink line, yeah. I'll have an image that will be that'll look like this without the pink, yeah? And I'll have 100 versions of good ones. And then what I'll do is I'll go through all the points, all these parts on the board, and I'll say, does this image look like, if I do a difference, or whatever the calculation is it the same as this one or this one or this one or this one or all of these ones? Is it the same as all these 100? And then if it is really close, like within whatever my margin of error is, then that one is good. But if it doesn't match any of those within my margin of error, then it must be bad, or I need to classify it as either good or bad. Well, it's not really machine learning. It's me brute forcing it. Like it's, there are ways of doing all that type of stuff with TensorFlow where like I won't be doing that for now. I'll just literally be comparing it to images, right? In each orientation, or use rotation and stuff. No, in each orientation, because the lighting of each component will change based on its orientation. Big assumption that I can get perfectly flat lighting. We'll get to that when we get to that, right? So I'm going to do for each orientation. That way I've got consistent lighting across the panel. Yeah, but again, that's really easy to do. Like, this, wait, let's go back to here. Right, so that one there's a good one, right? That one there's a good one. But they're different. This one's sitting slightly higher on the pads than this one, but they're both good. Yeah? That one there's a good one. That one there's a good one. So all the good ones I'd get stored. I'd store. That's a good one. That's a bad one, right? That doesn't look like those other ones. That's a bad one. Doesn't look like those other ones. You can see that I had a problem placing that part. Turned out that there was a problem with the nozzle. See, that's not good. That section here means it's not reflowed properly. It doesn't look like it, and that's no good. But each one of these bad ones, they all look different to each other, So I don't want to compare for bad, I want to compare for good. See, here's another one. That looks totally different to that. But all the good ones look really similar. Right? Bad one, good one. But good one here and good one here are the same. I don't have to do it per component on the board. I just need to have a database of good 0402 caps and bad 0402 caps. Not bad, sorry. Good 0402 caps in two different orientations, good 0402 resistors, good 0603 caps, if that makes sense. You went to an image consultant. What? Okay, a lot of chat just went past. No, I don't need a few thousand images. I need 20 or 30 images. That's the whole point. I'm not teaching it via machine learning where I need thousands of images. Your new VAC table, those holes seem a bit large as they're sucking in the stencil and will bend it over time. Wait and see my video. I don't know, Jay. So the distortion I've had on my stencils pre the vacuum thing, because of the edges of the panels where the stencil would bow, the deflection on the stencil was 5 to 6 times more than what I'm getting right now, and my stencils have not damaged over time. So I'm within the threshold of there being any problems with the metal. Goodness, also take into account the field of view. Well, yeah, field of view is not going to be a problem when I've got my rig, because the camera will be moving to each position of the board. So my plan is, if you think about it, the autofocus camera grabs and focuses on the panel, works out, takes a photo, moves down, focuses, gets the picture of the panel as big as it can in the image, right? It does that, then it does a bounds around the board, it calculates where each board is, and then uses those positions back in millimeters to move the global shutter camera to the center of each board. And it'll then take a photo of every individual board. And then I'll be doing the calculations on each board. So I won't have distortion from one side of a panel to the other one, because I'll be taking a photo of each board one at a time and doing the processing on a per board basis, if that makes sense. The percentage of not goodness. Jay, that's right. The percentage of how much different is this from the rest of them. Reggie Stack's image process. There's a lot of different processing. I said that at the start of the stream. There's a lot of different, like I've been looking at, there's stacks of libraries and frameworks that can do all sorts of image comparison stuff. I get that. I don't know how they work. I don't understand them yet. So right now I'm brute forcing, like I say on my stream. This is all brute force. Could you ask to save the cropped areas, then you could classify them, moving them into a good... Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. I'll go through, as it processes each part, if it's a good one, I'll store it, and it'll reload them from that database, from those images later. Absolutely. I'll end up with a folder or a database full of part types that are good. And that's what I'm going to process against. Are you expecting to use edge detection to help with identifying the alignment? A batch of good placements might be easy to measure. No, not for this. I'm not right now. Yeah, I know. You can see the divots, and you can still see them on my new video coming out. But those divots are way less of a deflection than what I get normally on my panel, just by gravity pushing the frame down over the edge of the panel. So yeah, look, I'll keep refining it. I also mentioned that I need a less powerful vacuum cleaner. right? It's not that the holes are too big. I've got a on or off shop vac right now, and on is 2000 watts, right? I've got no half speed suction, so when I get a different vacuum cleaner, I'll be able to give it less vacuum, which will deflect it less. Keep all the bad ones too for testing and email later. Yeah, that's a really good idea, Fognology. Really good idea. Yeah. Okay, so I am going to... I'm curious to know why these are square. I'm going to do it to a resistor and see if... Oops. Do R1. The bounding... So maybe I'm still grabbing the wrong thing. And I see the area on this one is different. The area is more rectangle than square. Yeah, ImageMagick has one as well. I found a few algorithms this morning at 3 o'clock in the morning when I was on my iPad. Catch you later, Johnny. Thanks for joining, mate. Thanks for sticking around. And thanks for the super chat. Really appreciate it. So the area seems really weird. How does it calculate? Let me have a look at one of these packages. If I open the footprint, I want to know where it's getting its area from. Ah, I bet you it includes the name and the value. I bet you it's including this as well, which is why it's square. So where were the docs? Area. The area is the abstract object. It gives information about the area covered by an object. For your package or symbol, instance, context, respectively, the area is given in absolute drawing coordinate, including the offset of the element or instance, and including the area of moved text. Ah. How do I tell it to do it without that? Okay, so I can't use area. I wonder if the keep out area is playing a role. No, it's not. It's the labels. It's including the area of text. So even though I don't have them on my board, they're defined in here, which is why I'm getting a... Ah, you bastard. Which is why I'm getting a square. Right? So let's not use the area. What else can I use? Let's go back to package. These links don't work in the document. It's so frustrating. It's the worst document ever. Your package 3D. UL package. So there's the area, which you can't use. Then there's what's dimensions. Offset, visible, first reference point, second, third. Linear dimensions with parallel measurement. Element, so origin. Helio, I saw you the first 3 times you wrote that. I'm not interested in hue transforms. Thank you. I explained why I don't want to rotate the images. I want to do that myself for this, but thank you. I did see what you wrote. It's okay. It's okay. What's external width, offset, external length? What's XT width and length? is there a description? Loop members through all the text and wires animation. Board B dimensions. Dimensions are, what are the three? Why is there 3 X and Y's? Anyone know what these are? No, make suggestions, but yeah, I already explained on that one. Of that other min-max thing. Yeah, but that min-max thing wasn't... Well, the X was working, but the Y wasn't working, which I don't understand. And of course I got rid of that code, didn't I? Let me just copy this. And undo. Gotta love the undo. Okay. And paste that back in. And comment it out. So I don't know why package pins is what you care about. For the dimensions, center and bounding box, yeah, but it doesn't say that. First reference point, second reference point, alignment. Don't know what alignment. Because that's not for the package, I think. Right. So I'm not quite sure that's... So we don't want that. Let's just keep going. URL package. Now, was it URL? It was contacts, wasn't it? Contacts. URL contact. URL contact. Pad. It's got a pad, signal, SMD. So I'm seeing a pad and an SMD. That is stupid. Hey James, Hibbs, X3, Y3, centerline. Yeah, there's no keep out specified on those parts, so I can't use that. I mean, I could go back in and add a, like I could do this. I could pick a layer that I'm not using. I don't know. I have no idea what muster is, right? No idea what muster is, but I could, change my grid. I could go and do this. That is a pain. I could do that on my muster layer, and then I could read my muster layer in, but then I have to go through every single component everywhere. They mention of that pad SMD thing in their ULP. If SMD through hold mix, then favorite SMD. Well, that's sure, but I still don't get. Pad. I don't understand the difference between a pad and an SMD. but it still doesn't. Okay, what is ULSMD? ULSMD has got a angle layer. It's a center point. Ah, it's the center point of the pads. That's why the X is working and not the Y. I want the edges of the pads. That's why it's not working. That's why the X is working and not the Y. How do I get the area? And that's also the center point. Yeah, or a pad is something that's got a drill in it, like a plated through hole or something. Oh. Int size, hang on. dx and dy. Whoa, 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 whoa. Here we go, hang on. dx and dy. So that would give me ULP just wants to draw the objects. You don't need to check these flags explicitly. The dx and dy members will return the proper data. For instance, if flag stop is set, dx layer t stop return 0. Right, delta x, but the starting point is the center. I've got the center, and I've got the dx and the dy. And you've got to do that for the layer, and the layer is the pad I want, so that's layer 1. I have to be careful here, but it'll be layer 1. This will be top. So if I just go so I need a, I'm going to do a, I need a second X, no, okay, this is going to be, this is doing my head in. You have to halve it and add it in both directions. What? Min x equals center x dx divided by 2. I don't know what dx is giving me. I don't know what dx is giving me. I've got the center of the pads, and that's the size. Sorry, when I say I don't know what's giving me, hang on, just. I need a total x equals 0. What? Hang on, that's going to be a what? It's going to be a real. By the way, I'm going to stream forever this morning. I'm just going to keep streaming. I don't know why. Equals 0. And so here I'm going to say if c.smd, all right, I want the dx equals c.smd.dx And how they're passing it the layer. Where's the layer that they're using here? They're not. Okay. dy equals, so that's the size of each, really? And the position, so how this isn't going to work. This isn't going to help me. Oh no, it will. It's going through each contact. Oh my god. I need a min x. I'm gonna have to do this again. Min y. Max y, and I want to, and if I basically want to copy this, but I need to calculate the, so it's the center. I need the left of the center and the right of the center of, so left equals c.smd.x minus divided by 2. That'll give me the left of the pad. Is that correct? And the right will give me the, this will be plus dx divided by 2. Maybe not 15 hours, no, but I just want to get this bit sorted. And I want to, this is going to be a top, is going to be c.smd.y minus c.smd.dy divided by 2. And top and bottom will be plus. So that should give me the extremes of these values, right? And then I need to say if min max is greater than the left one, min max, min x, what's that, min max equals the left one. I should do that on the same line. Is y plus minus correct? I think so, but I can always fix it if it's not. If max x is less than the right hand side, then max x equals the right hand side. Now I need to do the y's. If dy top, no, top is up, right? Yes, I think you're right. They should be flipped. So if y is less, it is if min and y is greater than the bottom, min y equals the bottom, And if max, and that's also not max, if max y is less than the top, then max y equals the top. Is that right? Yeah, I got the typo, thanks. Yep. Max, 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 min, 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 min. So then at the end of that, I should be able to then use min x, min y, max x, max y. Let's try it. Should we try it? I need to get rid of that. Okay. Okay, it's going to crash and burn. Oops. Nope. Help if I'm on the board. Okay. Run. No. Error. DXL. What did I get wrong? DXL. Where's there a DXL? Left and right. Oh, right. I didn't. Okay. There you go. They're not defined. Keep forgetting it's not Python. Okay. Nope. Must be a unit value. 378. X min. X. Must be a unit value. I don't know what that means. What does that mean? What's wrong with that? Can I not use those variable names? Min x. What's wrong with this? Underscore, underscore, min x. The type should be unit. Well, no. My other ones weren't. These other ones here that I was doing before weren't unit. They were... Okay, maybe. Okay, try it. Okay, yep. So, calculate. Okay, do it. And, oh, they're not good. I got min is 0. The mins are not working, but the maxes are. That's a good start. Oh, maybe because they need to be also. But shouldn't be. Catch you later, Jay. Thanks, buddy. I don't think that's the problem. The y plus min y is greater than... I think I got them back to front. I'm just going to try this. They might be, but my origin is at 0, so that should negate any negatives. I think. Okay, that did not work. Or the min now worked. No. Min X didn't work. Min Y worked, but max Y doesn't work. But the min worked, where before the max worked. Okay. DB. I was going to flip them around again. So you can't do a print in this, so I can't get any output to see what the values are, which is really annoying. No, see, that's gone back to front again. Okay, so like I can't see what's in these values. But if the min is greater than that, it's got to go down. And if the max is less than that, it's got to go up. Am I putting the right values in here? Min X. I am. In it with min max. Right, so I could say, yeah, I could make the maxes that, right, so there's no uint, which is interesting, okay, and the min, I could do this, maybe that'll work, okay. Maybe the fact I started at 0 was the problem. Right, that's got values. And those values look much more sane. Okay, this is looking good. Don't need those. Copy. Paste. Run. Yeah! Look at that. We have square around the part based on the pads. So if I go back and do the SD card again, was it SD1, and I'll make the make it thicker so you can see it. We should now get only the pad outline. Okay, that didn't work. It's missing some pads. Okay, let's try a different one. Let's try the speaker. Okay, speaker worked. Let's try, what was it? C2. Missing the mechanical, well, but all pads, right, so the caps are working. Okay, let's just do them all, do all the components. Okay, there's all the components. So, they all look perfect, actually. Look, even the fiducial, they all look right, except this. So maybe it thinks, I'm telling it only if it's an SMD. Maybe let me tell it to do if it's a pad as well. I don't know if pads should have the same, shouldn't it? Maybe some of those are treated as pads. Or C dot pad. Let's try this. Oh. Reference to uninitialized object variable. Oh, okay. Well, they're all, it shouldn't be, because they are all pads, right? See here? If I go to open footprint, they're all pads. If I hide all the layers except for the top layer, see that? They're all there. So I don't understand why it's not. It should be using all of those, and it should be giving, you know, that. And I'm not sure why it's not, but I can keep playing with that. Is there any signal pads? It's possible. Yeah, it's probably right, because it's doing a box like this, right? And that's why it's only got those signal pads. See, it's sitting high. It's sitting higher. So it's got the pad up there and the pads here. So I wonder what it calls. So in something like this, I'd have to get it, I'd have to go through and make these signal not connected. That's really annoying. That's annoying. No, I don't think that's a pad. Well, maybe, but... Well, that's what I was going to do, but unfortunately I have to do it... I have to go if C pad we'll try this. Syntax error 351. Right, there's no DX on pad. UL pad. Oops. UL pad. No, there's no DX on them. There's a diameter. Yeah, nah. Okay. So yeah. But interestingly, the area on this one worked better. Okay, well, I think this is a good place to stop for the day. No, there's nothing else in the definition of the package. Like there's not that I can rely on, and unless I put something in there. So I mean, I can do that for the occasional part. But this is a really good place to stop. I've now got it detecting this and the bounds of each part. Yeah. For me, I'm assuming that yes, because that's pretty much the case for all of my parts. Cable tie. I can't think of a part of mine that the pads don't define the space. Because what I'm looking for is solder paste, like correct placement and solder paste, and so it's the pads. Yeah. No worries, Keith. The EE. You're welcome. Very welcome. I can't believe there's still 41 people still watching. You're awesome. That's fantastic. So for pads, you'll need to use circular logic rather than square logic. What do you mean? Hey, John. Good progress. I only saw part of the stream, but it looks like you got a long way along. Yeah, it's pretty good considering I didn't, like yesterday, I'd never used OpenCV before. Except for copying and pasting someone else's code. Probably not unreasonable unless you discover an exception. What? Who what? For what? Please use my Explorer Shield as a remote for my CNC router. That would be awesome. I would love to see that. Someone else was talking about about using their Explorer Shield as a remote for some robotic stuff. Now you can crop the save areas and do the manual classification. Yes, I can. Center point diameter rather than DXDY. Center point. Oh, you mean for the pads? No, because the diameter is only one direction. So a pad is considered like a through-hole pad. It's either round or square, so the diameter is the same, yeah? Or it's like a long pad. The diameter won't help me on this. And they're not pads. They're not pads. Those ones that don't have a signal won't get included as pad. They'll only be included because there's no signal. It doesn't matter, Colin, because they're not pads. So it still won't fix my my thing. They're definitely SMD, but there's no signal on them. I can fix that by putting a signal on them with a no connect. You know, and it's... I've got two different SD cards that I use, this one and the bigger one on the Explorer Shield. I'll probably have to fix both of those. Other than that, there's probably no other parts, very few other parts that I'm going to need to do that for. Like, as you can see, everything else is fine. You know, I use QFNs, I use passives, like it's even working with the switches. So, there'll be very few parts that I might have to go and modify the pads to work. No, this is not for pick and place alignment. No, nothing to do with the pick and place. This is post pick and place. This is me inspecting boards that have been made. So I can look at them and see, do I need to rework any of the parts? Like there are components on this board that I have to rework. So those little caps. I don't want to sit under a microscope looking at 1,000 parts, hunting for ones I need to fix. I want to stick this under the system and it says, you need to fix this part, and this part. Or it gives me a board that says, this board is good, and I don't have to spend 10 or 15 minutes checking it under a microscope. Graham, rubbish. Of course you understood stuff. Can you dump all contacts data for SD1 and see if there is something useful? I possibly can, but I'll have to write it out into a file because I've got there's no, printf or debug, or there is, but it's got to go to a file. So I don't believe I can get data out from a console. Yeah. Well, if signals are in place, can non-signal ever be misaligned? Should you care? What do you mean if... place could not be. It's not a matter of that. It's a matter of I need to compare like for like. So if it can't see that there is a problem here on that pad because it's not in the area I need to cut and compare, that's the issue. Now, sure, it might not be a signal line, but I can't see signals here because they're underneath the component, right? So if I can't check, like I need to check that these external mechanical ones are correct. If they are, then the signal should be fine. But if I can't compare the mechanical and it can't see the signal, I've got no way of checking those SD cards. It's easy to overlook problems too. I work with my son and we often both check the same boards and find stuff other. Yeah, it happens to me all the time. Like sometimes I'll have a pile of 20 panels, like 400 boards that I have to go and check. I'm sitting there checking every part on 400 boards, right? 35 parts per board. You work that out. What does that work out to? 35 times 400. There you go. I have to check 14,000 parts under a microscope. By the time I get to part number 3,000, my eyes are glazed over. Like I'm missing things, you know what I mean? I'm making mistakes. I'm glancing at boards. I'm rushing. I'm going really quick. I need to not do that. So it's very rare that I don't catch stuff, but it does happen. I normally catch it at the test jig stage at that point, but by then I've already cleaned the boards and separated them and stuff, and it's much easier to fix them before I do that. Thanks, Photochromax. It's a big number of parts to check, right? I know you're approaching from the ground up, so you understand what's going on under the hood, but are there any functions that someone else could write that would be beneficial to me? Probably not for this iteration, because as I said, I'm doing this the really clumsy, not a non-modern way, right? The modern way would be to train it with machine learning, you know, like get TensorFlow going in there and sit there and literally get thousands of images of different components that are good and bad and teach it, right? But other than that, the way I'm doing it right now, like, yeah, I don't know. Like I could probably have what I want to do for this working by the end of the day today, I think. Right, then I have to rework them and clean them again. Yes, which sucks, especially if there's a speaker on it, because ultrasonically cleaning speakers is really dangerous. Is not the right word, but error prone. Like you can damage the speakers, so they're going to be really, really dried perfectly well before you ever power them up again. So like I will clean this panel after rework, and when I ultrasonically clean it and put it in the oven to dry, I'll leave it in the oven for like 2.5 hours to make sure that those speakers are perfectly dry. If I then I see a mistake and I have to ultrasonically clean them again, the lifespan on those speakers will diminish big time. Where am I getting the access to the ULP manual from? I just downloaded it. I just did a search and found the link. It might even ship with Eagle. I don't know. Maybe it's there somewhere in the install files. I don't know. But I'm really happy with this. I'm happy with where this got to. I would have liked to have got here in 2 hours, not 3.5 hours, but that's okay. Considering that the stuff I was trying to solve was fighting Eagle things, then you're doing this to know what's going on. I would say that's a modern way. No, there are much more modern ways of solving this. Anyway, and there are tools you can buy and there are machines you can buy that do all this for you. But look, I'm learning. This is an interesting thing. Yeah, learning. I look forward to showing you all some extra results once I get a bit further. There's also camera used in industrial applications that can do what with a GUI configuration. They're really expensive, like $27,000 for an entry-level second-hand optical inspection unit is $27,000. Anyway, what about the switch? It's solving all the pads, yes, but my switch, the 4 pads top and bottom are ground, and the 3 on the side have got signals on them. That's why it's solving them. Although it doesn't seem to be going quite to the very edge of the pads on the left-hand side, but that's okay. There's enough there. I think there's enough there. And I might have to expand this out as well. Like I might say, here's the rect, give me an extra, 5 pixels or something. So that might work. Okay. I'm calling it. Thank you, everyone. Thanks for your help. Some amazing people helping me today. And for everyone else, thank you very much for egging me on. That was great. I'll see where I get to by the end of the day, although I do have a pile of other work to do, but I'm pretty sure I'm going to be distracted all day playing with this. I did not see X Robots video, Stephen. I'll check it out. I'm so far behind in videos, it is not funny. Yeah. Okay. Thanks everyone. Take care. Have a great rest of the week, and I'll see you all next week. Special guest next week. Marius is joining the stream. We're going to talk about some really cool stuff, so make sure you join. Okay. Bye everyone. Oh, yep, and that. Just checking chat. Bye everyone. Woo.